What's up, everybody? Welcome to the
Hold
Pixel.
on. Wait. I'm just joking. I really wanted to throw you off.
Oh, he quits. He leaves now.
That was-
I'm the new co-host. Hi, welcome to Pixel Perspective. I'm the new
That was a dick
co-host
move.
here.
That was, I guess.
Hey,
we're
don't
just,
take my job.
I guess we're just rolling with it. Hi, guys. No, we're doing this right. We're doing this right.
Do it
That'll
right.
Probably be,
Do it
that'll
right.
probably be the first intro that I do. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the clip. All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Pixel Perspective podcast. My name is JJ, and I'm here with two good friends of mine. First up, Adrian, what is going on, sir?
Hi. I'm good. Having fun doing podcasts.
And I see you are not alone. Can you introduce is she your friend or who is she?
This is my spouse, Amanda, or
Amanda.
Amy for short.
Ew, yeah.
No, this is Amy. She is my lovely wife and occasional gaming partner. And yeah, she's been on an episode before, filling in for JJ when he couldn't record. So hopefully you're familiar with her. If not, go back a few episodes.
And they've heard us talking about how when we go to Retropalooza, we usually count on her to pick the restaurants. Because she always comes through, and this time was no different. That Persian place was wonderful.
Oh, dude,
I'm
that
excited.
that is a staple for me from now on. It was so good.
It was very good.
Yeah, good job.
I was
right here.
I was really, really happy with it. And quite frankly, I like the other place we went to too. I don't remember what it was called, but it had like the breakfast stuff, and it's right next to the pie place, which was also really good. Man.
Oh. I was trying to remember what you were talking about. Yeah, something biscuit. It was I wasn't too thrilled with that place. I will say though, the first night that we got there, we went and picked up some wings at this shady little bar
you got
next
wings.
to the hotel.
We had burgers, I think.
I know. I was gonna say I don't think I
got wings.
It wasn't. I mean, it was good.
It was really good.
I wasn't quite as blown away as you.
Oh, I was blown away when we got back to the hotel room. I'm telling you.
I tried to close my ears and go to sleep.
No,
I was happy with all the food we ate, quite frankly. I thought it was all very good. If you can't tell, we are here to talk about Retropalooza. We went down this past week, and it was down in Arlington, Texas. Really good time. We try to go. We've gone every year for the past like 3 or 4 years, save one. I think we've gone for the past 4 years, but we missed one or two.
We missed two.
Yeah, I think
we might have missed two.
Yeah.
Due to COVID and stuff. So I mean, understandable, but it was really, really good to be back, and that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today. Hi, chat. What's up? Before we get into that, though, Adrian, what you been playing?
Well, one of the things I've been playing is one of the things that I got at Retropalooza, which was the Switch version of Klonoa, Fantasy Reverie or something.
Reverie?
I don't remember the full name of, but it is basically a remastered version of Klonoa 1 and Klonoa 2. Klonoa 1, this is like the second official remake of that game. The first game was out on the PS1, and it is like a $500 game now. If you want to try to acquire it,
it's expensive.
But it's an amazing game. And then Klonoa 2 was released on the PS2 several years later, and it is also I would say equally as good. But they also released a version on the Wii, which was a remake of the original game. And then there's two on the Game Boy Advance as well. But the one on the Wii, it's a weird situation because that was the first remake of the first game, and now this Switch one is the second remake of the first game. So I've played about half of the Wii version. I've only played a little bit of the PS1 version, and I've officially finally finished the first Klonoa game on this new Switch version.
Nice.
Really short game, surprisingly short. It only took me probably 5 hours to beat it. And I had a blast with it. It is a fun game, very difficult. I had to drop the difficulty level to easy mode on the last level. It was just kicking my butt. And every time I got so far on a boss fight and died and have to restart it, I was like, I'm not going to keep doing this, because you have to replay the whole level when you run out of lives. So I just knocked it down to easy, and easy mode doesn't make the game easier. It gives you unlimited lives, so you don't have to restart the whole level. You just restarted a checkpoint, so that was nice. It also gives you more hearts to start with. You have 3. If you put it on easy, you get 5. So anyway, I beat it. I started on Klonoa 2. Not as far in that one. I'm probably 4 levels in on that one, and it's so good. Those games are great. If you've never played them, they're really good. They're kind of dark fantasy games too. They're 2D platformers in a 3D space. So
Interesting.
A lot of parallaxing, and it's a very unique 2D platformer, and I love games like that. So it's been fun. Also, I went back to Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Still trying to chip away at that one. I'm about 30 hours in it now, so I put on another 10 hours since I stopped.
I did see you playing that.
Yeah, dude, that game is getting it's getting a lot better. There was a dull moment there when I stopped playing or took a break from it, and now I'm at like a kind of pivotal moment in the storyline that's really good. Without giving away any spoilers, I can't even describe it to you to tell you where I am in the game, because it's all spoilers.
Lamont, you read my mind. He says he finished a game.
Hey, if they're short and they keep my attention, I'll finish them.
My first thought was like, so about 5 hours. Okay, that would have been his normal stopping point, so that makes sense. Yeah.
That's right. I got so many games to play and so little time. So if I want to drop it, move on to something else, I will. But I mean, there's other games like Xenoblade Chronicles 3 that, it's gonna take me a while to finish it, but I'm gonna keep going until I finish it. It's still holding my interest. It hasn't let go yet. It's just when I take breaks to play something else, and that's really it. I also started playing Bayonetta 2 in preparation for Bayonetta 3. I never finished Bayonetta 2, surprising, I know. But I'm further in that game now than I was the first time I played it. So that's good. And that game is fantastic. If you've never played Bayonetta and you like action games, you have to play them. Those are so over the top, fun, action packed, big bosses. Big. It's Bayonetta. It's like way overly sexualized, and if that type of thing bothers you, I don't blame you, because it's hyper sexualized, but it's still a fun game. I love it. The other thing I've been playing is still chipping away at Doom.
Brian says, if you know Brian, then you know that he would squeak his voice when he says this. So I'm going to try and read it like he would say it. I love the Bayonetta games, because that's how he would say it. That kind of hurt, dude. I don't know how you do it. And then he says Nintendo games on PC when. I would not be surprised if you start seeing that in the next few years, maybe even the next console generation. They've already obviously started doing mobile stuff. And I think PlayStation is starting to see the benefits of releasing games multi-plat on console and PC. So I think Nintendo, as stubborn as they are, I think one day they're going to follow suit. And the fact that they went mobile for a little bit is a pretty good sign that that's going to happen, because I didn't think that would ever happen. So we'll see, but I don't think it's too far off.
Still chipping away at Vampire Survivors as well. I'm gonna keep saying it. That game is phenomenal. It's such a fun, like, decompress, not think about anything play for 30 minutes and be done type of game. I love Vampire Survivors. Perfect on the Steam Deck too.
He uses it to get out of doing dishes.
I did not. I told you I wanted to take a break.
He said I'll do one round.
One round takes about 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes.
He's like, I'll be there, one round. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
It's true.
I used to do the same thing to my parents when I was a kid. I just got to save it, and then it would be like 30, 45 minutes later.
Yeah.
You're trying to find a save point.
I'm sure there's some other things that I kind of played with here and there, some other games, but those are the main ones that I've been playing over the past month.
Cool. Amy, what about you? What you been playing?
Honestly, I haven't been playing anything. My brother bought me the new Call of Duty though, so I am probably gonna play that tonight. So that's
I forgot you were pretty heavy into the last one, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I'm excited because I finally have another buddy, my brother, to play with. So yeah.
Cool.
It's not Adrian's kind of game. He'll play sometimes if I force him, but you know.
I would rather play the story in those than the multiplayer. The multiplayer just I used to really love Call of Duty multiplayer, but it's not for me anymore. I lose interest in it too fast. It's
the perfect ADHD game though. Like the games aren't that long. It's kind of exciting for a second, and then once you get bored with it, there's already another game to play.
I don't know. It's been the same game for the past 15 years. I'm kind of over it.
Cool. I've played a lot, but I have not played a lot of games, like different ones, if that makes sense. I finished up Suikoden 5 just in time for, if you haven't gone to the channel, Game Room Revival, I did start doing my thank you for 500 subs, by the way. I'm gonna start like 4 sentences in a row before I finish one.
Congratulations.
Thanks. So I did start my video series on my top 100 games of all time. The list is completely done. And I am in the process of writing little rapid fire reviews for each one. It's like 1 to 2 paragraphs for each one. And then I do like voiceovers and release on the channel like that. Like I do my reviews kind of. I'm doing 5 games at a time. So I've got 100 through 90 out right now. There's 2 videos. And I've got the next one written, which I'll have it all done and recorded and up the week following the release of this episode of Pixel Perspective. And it's actually been kind of fun to go back and go through. And man, there's so many games in there that I have just been like, oh my gosh, I want to go replay this. Like when I was writing Brian, I don't know if you watched it yet, but when I was writing the Xenoblade Chronicles X one and looking at the game footage and stuff, like it just made me want to go back to that so bad. And I'm just like, man, I would love to get a Switch release of that game. It would be so great. I don't even care if it's a remaster. Just give me a port because it looks amazing anyways. And it was on the Wii U. I wanted to play it again so bad. And it's been that way with a handful of these games. So I'm super excited to keep writing those and get moving on those as well. But I finished Suikoden 5, and that ended up edging out my list and being at number 100. It actually bumped off the Borderlands games, which were at number 1 prior to that. And so it bumped that off, and Suikoden 5 made the list. And it is an excellent, fantastic, wonderful game. I highly recommend it to anybody curious about the series that is not too keen on going to the super old ones. And it's still super old because it's a PS2 title, but it is definitely more modern. It's very long though, so be aware of that. But it is an excellent game, and I recommend it to anybody. And I also a couple days ago finished Shining Force 2, which is the one that I was playing after that, which is also an excellent game. And I freaking love the aesthetics and love the sprite graphics and the artwork. It's just so pretty to look at, and it was just so wonderful. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I Xenoblade Chronicles X was obviously not the best received by fans of the series. And the story was obviously lackluster, and the music was great in some zones and not so great in other ones. But the concept of getting to design your own mechs and fly around this massive world, which in the other games, you know, you just have to run on foot the whole time, which was always kind of like bugged me. It just hit every note for me. It was just wonderful. So yeah, I would love to see that game re-released, because Wii U, unfortunately, a lot of people didn't get the chance to play it that should have, and those that did were just the diehard Xenoblade fans. So I would love to see it get a release to a wider audience so more people can appreciate it. And I am getting ready to start. I have not yet, but I'm getting ready to start Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is my final game on my list. And I'm super excited to get into that. And I've been playing Forza Horizon 5, trying to do the weekly stuff because they have their anniversary going on right now, and there's a bunch of like achievements and stuff that you can get. So I've been kind of just going through that every week and doing those, and it's been fun. They brought back some stuff from like Forza Horizon 3, and just it's just been fun playing that game. I still, it never gets old to me. It's a blast. I think that's pretty much it. I will say, now that I am getting close to wrapping up, I have decided, and I'll mention it more in the Discord, but I have decided that if you're in our Discord and you're like, you talk to me every now and then, whatever, anything, even that you're listening right now, if you want to choose one of the games I play and beat in 2022, join our Discord and let me know, because I am going to let people pick one game if they want to each, not like just one for the whole Discord, like up to 20, obviously, because I can't do that. Can't do more than that, but I will absolutely let people do that. So if you haven't, go ahead and join our Discord. You can tell me what game to play for next year. It's got to be something that's beatable. I'll let you know like the rules and that kind of stuff. And it's if you want to go back to my video and that where I talked about games that I hated and just couldn't finish, you want to pick one of those to torture me, as long as it's beatable, sure. But I typically get a lot of requests from people just saying like, have you played this yet? Have you played this yet? Have you played this yet? I'm like, I have
That was
not
going to
played
be my
Dead Space
question.
yet.
Are you going to put a list of games you haven't played, or just take suggestions?
How can I just put a list of games that I haven't played?
Or
I don't want to like,
you want to play. How about that?
that's the thing is I don't want to like limit that, because that would that might exclude some stuff. Like when I asked Lamont to pick two for me, he chose Prey and Hitman, and I would never have even considered either one of those. And that's what I'm kind of trying to lean into, is to maybe get games that I would not have otherwise thought of. Obviously, you know, people have been begging me to play God of War and freaking Bayonetta and like Dead Space, that kind of stuff. And I love to.
You've never played Dead Space?
I have played the first one, but I haven't finished it. I really, really liked it. It's an excellent game, but I have not finished it. So there's just a lot of ways that it can go. Hi, Cameron. What's up, man? So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, if you're in our Discord and you wanna let me know what game you want me to play, because I do little rapid fire reviews on those at the end of the year once I'm done. And I talk about them while I'm playing them on here as well. So I love hearing from people and getting recommendations. And that's honestly how I play a lot of games that I would not have, because I sometimes have blinders on, and I'm well aware of that. So I couldn't be happier that Lamont suggested those two games to me, because Prey is literally like one of the best games that I've played in a long time. And Hitman was super fun as well. So like I said, I probably would have skipped over those had I not offer that chance to him and him come through with me for me on that. So yeah, that's pretty much it for me on that. Do we want to get into Retropalooza?
Yeah, I guess. Sure.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Sounds good. Retropalooza?
Yes. Brian says, remember how I said Mass Effect series was one of the best games ever and you played it and it was fun for you too? Well, hear me, play God of War. I know.
He's right. God of War is amazing.
Oh, did you finish God of War? No.
Yes, I did.
You finished it?
Is that the one where he says, boy?
I've finished all the God of War games.
That is true.
Wow.
I can go.
Even the PSP ones. I have finished every God of War.
Okay. I tried
You
playing
have
God of
video
War
You also-
somewhere.
2 or 3 back on PS1 or whatever it was, and I just couldn't get into it.
You also got to remember that this is the God of War series back in the day was when I had more time available to me to play games. But also the newest God of War is one of those games that will absolutely keep your interest through the entirety of it. It is an amazing game. Ragnarok is going to be so good. I'm excited to play that.
That way doesn't believe you that you finished it. He says, "Yeah, right."
Well, they don't know. They don't know pre. I don't know, adult Adrian, I guess. Not pre-adult.
Were you not an
but
adult when the last God of War
I
came
know.
out?
I was an adult. Like, I don't know. Like, my life has gotten so hectic over the past several years that like it's. I would love to play more games. I really would, but you know, life comes
That's fair.
first.
For sure.
But I want to put a game in there. I have to figure out like what are my favorite games that you haven't played, because I know there's got to be at least one or two. And this dog.
Oh, you don't
is
get to
really
pick one.
irritating. Can you
You
hear
don't get to
that?
pick one.
Oh, I'm picking one. I'm picking it, or I'll pick it and then tell Amy to recommend it to you. There.
Yeah,
And then that
Lamont,
sounds like she picked it.
I think Adrian is officially, I've said this before, but I think Adrian is officially at the point where you can say that he has a quote pile of kids. I think that's kind of the number he's at this point.
Well, and Jay got to meet my kids for the first time
I did.
for Retropalooza. Like, he's met Amy several times, but yeah, none of my kids officially, not online anyway. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. So
They're sweet kids. I had fun meeting everybody. It was cool. We drove around.
One of them.
We we drove around to a few of the game stores in Adrian's area, which was cool. I drove down to Oklahoma first before we went to Texas, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. We drove around to a toy place, a couple of game stores, and yeah, there was. Man, you guys have so much.
What did you
more than
think
we
of my
do
honey
up here.
hole?
I kind of thought it needed to be cleaned, to be honest with you.
It's dirty. It's dirty.
Yeah, I know.
I told you
no,
it's dirty.
It was huge. It was like way bigger than I thought it was going to be. It was like there's so much there, and there were so many complete in box games, and like it was. I could see why you like it so much, not only because of like, if you like to do what Adrian does and you like to dig through stuff to find things, that is like it is a place for that.
Yes,
and
it is.
the owner who was there loves to talk about collecting and stuff. Like, you know me, I talk about games and like playing games and, you know, what the stories, mechanics, all that kind of stuff, and having fun with that. Adrian loves to talk about the collecting aspect, and if you find somebody else that can match him on that, let's just say I was kind of standing off to the side, like, we have to be in Texas by tomorrow, guy. So
he was,
but
he was super chatty, wasn't he?
Very much so. But no, he was super nice, and it was a really, really cool place. Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. And that was all.
He's a great guy. I mean, that was, besides the size of the place and how much stuff they have there, I go there to support the owner because he's a super cool dude, always really nice. He'll always cut me a good deal, like always. It's every time I go up there to buy stuff, he's gonna hook me up. And you know, I love that. I don't want to see it go away, so I'm gonna shop there whenever I have spare money to spend.
It was basically like a small warehouse. It was huge.
Yeah,
it was massive. And it wasn't just video games. They had a lot, but there was also collectibles and toys and statues and comic books and pops, and it was just crazy.
If I had a few $1,000s to spend, I would buy out his complete in box Super Nintendo games. Oh my gosh, he had so many good RPGs. He had Chrono Trigger and
I wanted that Evermore so
Breath
bad.
of Fires. Which one?
Evermore, Secret of Evermore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How much did he have on that one?
He had 2 of them. I think he wanted 180 for him.
Yeah, sounds
something like
about
that.
right. Yeah, it's incredible. I really love it. What did you think about Toy Base 10? I know you're not a toy collector, but just in terms of what the place is.
As a tall man, it is very tough to move around in that place.
It's a
Um,
little claustrophobic.
it's cool. It's yeah, like you said, I'm not like super into toys and that kind of thing, but it was neat to like just see just the sheer amount of stuff he had in there. It
Mhm.
was pretty dang impressive. And the nostalgia, seeing Ninja Turtle stuff and Power Rangers, Transformers. It's just absolutely crazy how much stuff he had in there. GI Joes, and just wall to wall. Like we walked down that first hallway, and I was like, "Yeah, this is quite a bit." And then as we were walking back, I thought we were getting ready to leave, and then I realized, oh, this is just half the store. Like, so you have to duck under four other doorways to get to the other place on the other side. There's just so much. It was crazy. Very cool place though.
It's
Yeah,
such a weird setup in there. And it doesn't lend itself kindly to having multiple people shopping.
no,
Um,
definitely not.
but there are so many boxed and packaged, unopened
Yeah,
figures in there. It's just unreal. And I would recommend the Game Chasers. They do the on YouTube. They do another series called Toy Chasers. They've gone into Toy Base 10 twice now, and go check that out if you want to get an idea for how big this place is. It doesn't look big, but it's absolutely massive. Every room in that store is themed to something else, like GI Joe or Transformers or Star Wars or whatever horror
yeah,
games. They got an anime room. It's just insane how much stuff is in there. But part of the fun of going there is dealing with the owner who doesn't price anything. He wants you to come up there and negotiate. He wants you to know the value of the thing that you want to buy and then go up there and try to negotiate with him. Unless it's a new toy. If
unless
it's
it's
like,
new. Yeah,
yeah, I bought a thing over there. It's a Ninja Turtle, Turtles in Time, Michelangelo figure. That's a new one that he bought directly from the distributor. So he already has a price set on that. But anything else, anything used from, that's old, you're going to have to negotiate with him on it.
And he's nice to kids, like because
He's
we've
he's
brought the
nice to
kids in.
everybody.
Yeah.
He's opinionated,
He's
but he's nice to
eccentric.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. He gave me some free chocolate.
I like that.
He gave
I
me
like that.
he gave me a chocolate bar.
That sounds like a white
He did.
band, like
Well, I came into his shop, so
want some chocolate and toys.
I appreciated my chocolate. It was good. And then the final place we went to was oh my gosh, Video Games Plus. Video Games Plus is more like your traditional video game store, what I think most people have in their town.
Yeah.
If you live in a bigger town.
Yep.
But the thing that's really interesting to me is that all three of those places are within a 3-mile radius. It is insane. Like they're all bundled up next to each other, and there's only one other retro game store on the other side of the city. So everything is like right there. It's so weird. I'm assuming it's because the cost to rent those buildings is probably a lot cheaper than it is anywhere else in the city. And it's kind of in a poor part of town, I guess, which so it makes sense. But I love it though, because when I have some money to spend, I go to that one little area, I can hit all three stores and spend some money.
He tricked me.
Yeah.
He's like, we can go to the Asian market because I'm all about food.
Which isn't too far from there either.
Right. But we have to go to all three places before I get to go get.
Yeah, well, it's been a while. But yeah.
We're gonna go to the Asian market, and then he just brings you over to like the JRPG section in the store.
Right.
Basically, yeah.
Right.
Makes sense.
I'll look
Yeah.
through the manga for a while. He knows me.
We got to go say hi to Jason,
Jason knows me.
who's the store owner of the first place, by the way.
So this was all the day before we got down to Texas.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or the day that we left for Texas. This is all done. JJ got here at about noon, and we were out for about 3 hours.
I was so tired on Monday.
Were you?
Well, I was gonna say, I know that.
Yeah, all that driving. Oof. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a whirlwind of a trip, but yeah, I was pretty exhausted too. when we got done with everything. But yeah, we got back around 4, and then we headed straight to Arlington from there.
Mhm.
Yep.
And yeah, I don't remember if we had any adventures along the way. Actually, I did make a stop along the way. There's a game exchange in
Ardmore.
Ardmore. Yes, thank you. Which is a town close to the border of Oklahoma and Texas. And I always stop there because I've found some good stuff there in the past. And I did find some DS games while I was there. I found New Super Mario Bros. For the DS. And I found Kirby Superstar Ultra. And I found Spectro Force Genesis, all from that place. These are all really, really fairly priced. I think I paid, $50 for all 3 games total, which is pretty good.
Nice.
And I get to flesh out my DS collection a little bit more, so that was fun.
There you go.
And then yeah, after that we drove straight through to Arlington, where JJ was there meeting us. He was there about an hour before we got there, I'd say.
Yeah, I did not go to Game Exchange because I was tired and I was like, I just want to go and lay down because I'm exhausted. I was up since like 5:30 and just driving all freaking day.
And you drove 5 hours just to get to Oklahoma City, on top of driving to Arlington.
Yeah. What's funny is, so I actually cut off like an hour and a half to 2 hours, not stopping by your guys' place on the way back. It was only like an 8-hour drive because it had me take a different highway back up. So no, I mean, I thought it was a big deal because I would have still wanted to go to those game stores and see your place and stuff. So I just thought that was funny that there was I always thought that I'd be pretty much going down that same highway, but I guess not. So, yeah. Well, so Retropalooza is like, they have panels and guests and that kind of thing. We typically don't really look into that stuff or do much with it. We are pretty much there just for the vendor room and to buy stuff and look at just all the games and the people, and there's just so much stuff there. And there was a lot of stuff, but holy God, there was a lot of people. So much so that I was
the most
uncomfortable.
People I've seen.
Yeah. I loved it, don't get me wrong, but I was like, I'm not crazy about huge crowds as it is. And so like it just kind of like, I get like exhausted really quick whenever I'm around that many people all at once. So it was a little rough. And I definitely had to like kind of take walking breaks where I would just walk around like to the outside edge or something like that. But there was just still so much there, and I got a pile of games and everything. Do you want me to just go through what I got?
Sure.
Cool?
Yeah.
So if you're in our Discord, you've already seen the pictures of the games that I got. One of the things that I don't have here with me, but I got, is a Sonic plushie. Prices, Lamont, they were fine.
On par with eBay.
Yeah.
Some vendors
they expected you to haggle.
Right. But I did notice, okay, every booth, I would say, or most booths were on par with eBay. Some of them were higher than eBay prices, but then they would say, hey, 20% off, everything's 20% off, but it was 20% over the prices on eBay. I was like, yeah, okay, that doesn't work on me, but but then there was a booth, actually the booth that I bought the most stuff from. There was a couple of these. He was actually taking the prices from eBay and our price charting and knocking 20% off of that, so making it more desirable. So I that worked for me. Like if I'm saving any kind of money at all, that I'm good with that. So I would say most of the stuff that I got came from 2 different booths who did that same thing. So anyway,
it's honestly, if you're you're wondering what it's like to go to a convention like this if you've never been to one, for the most part it is like literally just like surfing eBay, except in this case you're going to get to possibly haggle and get pricing down because you can bundle stuff. You can also compare different booths, that kind of thing. But also you're going to get to hold it in your hands, see the quality, see if it's missing anything. make sure that the instructions are there if you're looking for a complete game. You can find a lot of like loose stuff separately that you can then put together. So it's just more hands-on, which obviously is
Right.
preferable for somebody who's looking to get something that's quality, and not just like, hey, I want to play this game, I'm going to buy it, loose and whatever, which you can obviously just do on eBay. So it's it is what it is. You don't have to
It's
go to these things, but it is recommended if you want to like be sure.
It's for me, it's not even about that. I mean, you can totally buy all this stuff on eBay and it's fine.
Yeah.
But there's something different about shopping in an area where you can see and touch and hold and feel and look at and talk to the vendor and everything. It's like it's a different type of shopping. So it's more exciting for me to be able to just go through this stuff and find something, get excited about it, and then purchase it. You're not going to go there. Don't go there expecting to get things on the cheap or whatever, because that's not really what it's about.
You're not going to find a little Samson for $20.
No,
it's not something you're going to be like, oh my gosh, these guys don't know what they have. No, everybody there knows exactly what they have.
A garage sale where grandma
right
and
no
grandpa.
exactly
So
exactly
this is their business.
it's not
these
like
are vendors. This is what they do, so they know the prices of what they do.
But I also appreciate that, because these resellers they're bringing all the things that us collectors are looking for into one central place, so I have the opportunity to go around and look at everything, and that to me is fine. Like that's what I enjoy.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so I'm not gonna like spend too much time on these, but basically I just have everything. Not only do I have games and stuff that I got at Retropalooza, but I also have a few things that I picked up afterwards, simply because I figured this would just be easier than doing a full-on pickups video for the channel, and I could just get away with this. And then I'm at that point where I need to buy a separate shelf only for Wii U games, because I am at like 64 out of 167 or however many there are. So we're making progress. So there were a few that I got that were like this is one of them here. The Voice, I Want You. I won't ever play that, but it's +1 on my Wii U collection list. However, this is the game Adrian just mentioned, and that is Bayonetta 2 for the Wii U. So it actually comes with the original Bayonetta as well inside. So, oh yeah, and I forgot that I put this in there, but I got Secret of Mana instruction manual, which I was super stoked for, because I saw it loose and I was like, I don't know what he's gonna ask for it. Oh crap! And I asked him, and he was like $20, and I was like, done. So I'm super stoked to have this, because it's something I've wanted that game complete in box for a long time. So I'm really excited to have that here.
That's another thing. I'm gonna stop you just real quick.
Yeah,
you can find things to complete your stuff that's not been completed yet, like manuals and boxes and things like that. That's another cool thing about going there. Anyway,
again, it's like if you're looking for manuals, boxes, and stuff, it's going to be a lot more beneficial in person, because you're going to get to see it, rather than just taking the seller's word for it on eBay. And because you can absolutely buy that stuff there too, but you just never know 100% what you're going to get. Even with pictures, there's sometimes some damage that you're not seeing, or something like that. My good friend Adrian actually gave me a few games of his own, which was kind of nice. And the first one up is one that I felt super guilty about once I saw how it was priced there at the convention. And that is Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. I had no idea that this game was like somewhere between 30 and $50. I did not know that at all. I thought it was cheaper than that. And so when I saw that walking around, I was like, Adrian, at first I went to Amy and I was like, I feel like I should say something, because I feel really guilty and stuff. And she's like, you won't care, just whatever. And so I went, I told you and confessed my guilt, and you told me you didn't care. And that was really nice. So thank you so much for this one, because I'm super excited to have it.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. Like, I'm glad to help you with some of those harder or higher. It's not harder to find, but it's definitely one of the more expensive
Yeah.
ones. And even then, it's not super expensive. It's I don't
No, it's
think
not a
it's I think the
$400
vendors
game or
had it
something.
kind of high. That's a $30
It was
game
so all over the
max.
place. That's why
Yeah.
it was just so weird. I was like, man, this could be like it's free is just, either way, even if it is a $30 game, free is still, that great deal. So, next up is a game that you'll all know because everybody's played, Sing Party on the Wii U.
Hey, is
You
that
have
in
to
the
understand-
black case? Is it supposed to be in a black case?
I honestly don't know, but it's got everything in it. Everything's here.
Weird.
There are a few
I don't
Wii U
think it's
games that
supposed to
were in
be.
black cases, though, I think.
Really?
Because
Huh.
I've got a couple other ones too. Yeah. Rodea, the Sky Soldier. I actually really like the box art and the aesthetics on this game.
I do
It's
too.
kind of neat. And I didn't think it was going to be as cheap as it was, but it was like a less than $10 game. It was really, really nice. So I thought that was kind of neat. Another one that you gave me, New Super Mario Brothers U with Super Luigi U included, and I'm super stoked to have that because I have Mario Brothers U, but I don't have Luigi, and I still need to get Luigi separate by itself. But this is one that I needed as well, so pretty sweet.
Funny story on that one. I found that one just a few days or a week before you came into town at a Goodwill for like $5. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, I was like, "Oh, Wii U game. I want to buy that." I don't even care. Like it's a Nintendo first party. I'm gonna buy it.
Then I got Epic Mickey, The Power of Two. I've never played an Epic Mickey game, but I've actually heard good things about them. So I would like to try it at some point. And I think this one is multiplayer. I don't have anybody to play with, but it's still neat that I have it. Game that I won't ever play on the Wii U because I've already finished it, but I'm stoked to have it because it's part of the collection now, and that is Mass Effect 3. It's just weird that they only have this one on the system and
Yeah,
they
it
didn't
is.
release the other two. But it is what it is.
The Wii U is such a weird system in general.
Very
for
much
stuff
so.
like that.
But very few games to collect for it. So I want that complete run, man. I'm going for it. Wonderful 101. I can't believe I didn't have this already. Because I knew this was a pretty big game when it came out. So super happy to have that one as well. And all these I barely paid anything for. These were all, that's why I have so many, is because it was so cheap on these for the most part.
This is the time to buy for Wii U if you're into that.
The only thing, like a lot of the really expensive one, I can't remember which one it was that I was eyeballing, but the more expensive games they had priced way higher than eBay over there, and so that's why I didn't buy. Well, one of the reasons I didn't buy any of the expensive ones.
Was it Wii Party U by chance?
No.
I know that's
no.
Okay.
I did have my eyes on that. If I had gone back on Sunday, I probably would have done it. But Yoshi's Woolly World, another one. I actually wanted that one for a while because I think it looks really, really cute. Scribblenauts Unlimited. I've never played a Scribblenauts game at all, but yeah, I have this one and I have the other one too. But yeah, it was it's still the price tag on it, $3. So can't complain. You see a game for $3, kind of hard to pass up. Marvel Avengers, Lego, and Lego Star Wars, and then Injustice, Gods Among Us, which I have finished on PlayStation. Good Lord. Okay. I don't know what to do with this. I'll just set it back over here. All right. So another thing that they had a bin. One of the booths had a bin that was like, I don't know if you saw it, but there was a whole like 3 boxes of just stuff. And one of the things in there, one of the signs on the side said 5 for $20. So you literally reached in and picked out 5 games, and it was $20 for the 5 games. And I was like, I told myself, I was like, if I find 2 in there that I want, then I will go ahead and just BS pick the last 3. And sure enough, I did. So I was able to snag a handful of interesting games here. So I got Splinter Cell on Xbox, which I've never played. cameo Elements of Power on Xbox 360, which I think looks really interesting. Star Wars Jedi Starfighter, which I have on PS2, and I wanted to finish, but I never did. I started playing co-op with a friend of mine, but I just couldn't get through it. And so I've always wanted to go back, and I think it'll just be easier being able to play it on my Xbox Series X with this now. So happy to have that. No, it was not Devil's Third. I'll message you at some point and let you know what it was. I can't remember offhand. It was like a special edition of one of the games that I saw on eBay for like, I think 130, 140, and they were asking like 180. So I was just like, eh. But anyways, Sid Meier's Pirates. Another game that I've always been really, really curious about, and Sid Meier, his games are fun. So got that. And then this was one of the ones that caught my eye in the first place that made me dig through it and go for it, and that's Ratchet and Clank, the original one on PS2. I've never played Ratchet and Clank in any capacity, so I'm happy to have this and happy to give it a shot at some point, even though I think they've remastered it since the first one, right? I'm pretty sure.
I don't know if it's remastered, but re-released on the PS3. And I
PS3,
think
I thought there was
it may have been
version.
remastered. The PS4 version is the same as the PS3 version, as far as I know. It's just they brought it.
Yeah, Brian's saying the PS4 one. So yeah, there. I thought so. And then this was actually the other stuff. Oh, here. This game I actually have seen so many times, and I never pulled the trigger, and I always kick myself. And I told you this because I did it as well when we went into your honey hole. And that is Alleyway on Game Boy. I've wanted this. This is one of the, we talked about a while ago how when I was younger, my mom sent a handful of Game Boy games to overseas to my cousin so he could play them, and they got lost in the mail. This is one of the games that got lost. I love this game so much. It's literally just like the forget what it's called, but the one where you're in a ship and you just go back and forth and you try to bounce the ball up to hit and break the blocks up top, and it just keeps bouncing back all over the place. And I adore this game. It's so good and so much fun, and so simple. So really, really happy. I skipped out on it at the honey hole, and I was like, if I see it at Retropalooza, I'm just gonna freaking snag the stupid thing. And I saw it at Retropalooza for the same price that the honey hole had it, which was I think $9, and I was like, done, deal, take it. So snagged it, have it, happy. And then the thing that I spent the most money on at Retropalooza is Pokemon Black version 2. I have wanted Black 2 and White 2 for a long time, but holy crap, they're just stupid expensive. I was able to get this for a pretty decent deal. So I'm happy, but I think I paid $125 for it. $125 or $130. Either $120 or $130, because the other one was $5 more, and it was either $125 or $135. Either way, I paid it. It was expensive, but not like through the roof. So I would like to get White 2 at some point, but it's only going to go up. This is one of those games where I kick myself because I always pick up Pokemon games when they release, and I didn't when these came out because I thought they were just remakes with enhanced features of Black and White, and they're not. They're sequels. So I was really, really just kicking myself. I didn't find out until way later that was the case. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is, and I'm happy to have that now. Then on Amazon, I recently got a couple of games. Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Had to pick it up. I've been hearing amazing things about it, and that even the Rabbids aren't as bad as the previous games. So I'm happy to hear that. I still need to finish the first one though. I'm at the very end, and I just need to like power through and beat like the last like 2 fights. And I cannot wait to dive into this one because I loved the first one, Save the Rabbits, obviously, which we've talked about before. So definitely super excited to have that. And then finally, the last thing, you and I actually talked for like 2 seconds before we started recording, and that is the Sega Genesis Mini #2 that just recently came out. Man, there's some really, really neat stuff on here that I have nostalgia for and like have wanted to play, and like, man, Streets of Rage 3 is on here, and Golden Axe 2. see, Crusader of Senti, which I've always wanted to try. Phantasy Star 2, which has been released 1,000 times over. Clay Fighter, which is the goofiest fighting game I've ever played, I think. But it's I have nostalgia for it because I rented it one time just as a joke, and it was fine. And the other one that I saw that where was it? Oh, I'm so glad they have Echo the Dolphin on here too. Night Trap.
The Sega CD versions too.
Right.
Echo.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Sega CD, and they also have Shining Force CD, which is really neat. And Night Trap is a game that I have wanted to go back and play for years. It's bad. It's a terrible game. It's absolutely terrible. You play as a security system. Yeah, you play as a security system, and you're supposed to like trigger traps at the right time to catch thieves that are like breaking into a house during a party. And like I played with my friend Josh growing up because he had it, and dude, I could not figure out the controls, or we just randomly would trigger traps, like had no idea. It was just so weird and off the wall. And I always wanted to go back, like when I was older, and try and be like, maybe now that I'm a little smarter, I can probably figure it out, or at least watch a video on how to do this stuff.
I've tried and tried to understand that game, and I don't get it.
Yeah. Interesting, though, to say the least.
The remastered version is on the modern consoles, goes on sale for just a few bucks all the time. I recommend if you're gonna play that version. It looks so much better. Like they're using the actual footage that they captured rather than the hugely compressed version that they had to put on disc for the Sega CD.
Okay.
And it looks good. It plays good. The UI looks different. It's still difficult as hell to figure out how. Yeah.
I remember there not being much of a UI. It was just you had to push some combination of buttons at the right time, and we could never figure out what buttons to push or when to do it. It was just so weird. FMV games, yeah, exactly. Detway got the Gen 2 as well. I think it's cool that they came out with this because there's a handful of new games that I think is great. So yeah, I'm super excited to have that on there. So
I'm excited for all of those games that you mentioned, but also Splatterhouse 2 and Earthworm Jim 2 is on there. And they have a handful of Sega CD games, which is really nice. Not the ones that I want. I mean, they have a few. Mansion of Hidden Souls is kind of interesting. I have it, but I've never played it. It's another one of those kind of FMV
Sewer Shark
games. Sewer Shark is an FMV game. I'm a sucker for those FMV games. They're so corny and such a product of the time that I'm hugely nostalgic for those. But also like the Echo the Dolphin 1 and 2 is cool.
Time, CD. Final Fight CD.
I'm waiting for them. I'm waiting for somebody to hopefully hack this system so I can add more Sega CD games to it. I would love to add the Lunar games and Snatcher and stuff like that too.
Yeah, good call. Absolutely. I love that they've got. I think Shining in the Darkness was on the first one, wasn't it? I mean, I know it's on the Sega collection anyway, so I have other ways to play that. But the fact that Shining Force CD is on here is really cool.
Yeah.
I've been, ever since I played the first game, I've been dying to get into the rest of them, and now having played the second one and finished it, it's only like increased my desire to keep going with it because I really just enjoy the hell out of it. It's a lot of fun. So yeah,
I was surprised when I opened that box today to see how tiny that little box is. I was like, I know it's a mini console, but man, I didn't realize it is so small. And
I haven't opened
it
yet.
Console out of it.
So the console's tiny.
The console is so small. You can open
unboxing, guys.
Oh yeah. The controller is a 6-button controller, which is awesome.
Bigger than the console.
I wish. Yeah, the console is really small. But I'm more nostalgic for this model of the Sega Genesis because that's the one that I got when I was. Yeah, it's so small.
It's really tiny. Like, I mean, look at that. Like I'm palming the thing, and it's wow. That is really, really tiny. That's crazy. That's like the size of it's like the size of an original Sega game.
Yeah,
Interesting.
really.
That was pretty cool though.
When you plug it in, if you have this Sega Genesis Mini, the first version, the UI and everything is identical on this one.
It does have
They're just-
2 controller ports too, so I imagine you can hook up a second one on there.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know if they officially sell the controller to buy another one. I mean, you could probably get one from a third-party source, but yeah, I don't know if they
you
actually
probably need somebody to play with, and I don't have that. So. Anyway,
Owen will.
well, yeah, but he's not here.
I mean,
and I'm not gonna say, hey, drive your younger kid up to see me, because that's not
Anytime.
creepy and weird.
well,
Anytime.
if it was online, he would. He already
Yeah.
tried to get you to play games with him on the Xbox.
He'll message
That's true.
going.
One day I will, for sure. So that is my haul, as it were. What about you, sir?
I'll tell mine, but I want to let Amy talk about hers first. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I really like to go. Okay, well, I go for multiple reasons. It is always around our anniversary.
Our
So-
anniversary, by the way, was on Monday. 19 years we've been married.
We've been
so.
married 19
Happy
years.
anniversary!
Yeah, so it's kind of like an anniversary trip. I mean, we've done other podcasts about how I'm a horrible enabler of Adrian's gaming. He's always like, he's always like,
I need you to
"Should
tell
I-
me no.
Should I do this? Should I?" And I'm like, yeah. So I enjoy watching him. Like, he gets a plan, he plans things. So for me, it's exciting to see him get excited about it. I am not afraid of crowds, and in fact, I enjoy crowds. I enjoy the cosplay of the people walking around. Like, one of my favorite cosplay was this person was walking around as Pyramid Head. Like,
I didn't see that one.
That was cool. You did? Oh my gosh, really?
Like,
Yeah, I
Man,
missed it.
she stuck out like a sore
I loved
thumb.
her. Yeah.
I saw the Battletoads.
Yeah, the
guy.
Battletoads.
Mhm.
So I really like I go for the people aspect of it. I'm also the token extrovert who can get bags. I can clear crowds if need be.
I've seen that
but
in action.
this year
Yes.
I decided I did. I was like, JJ, watch. Yeah. Sorry if you were there and I cleared the crowd for you. Anyway, but this year
Nobody has any idea what you're
decided
talking
that-
about. It's hilarious.
That's true. Yeah, no. I
Just tell them what you do.
okay. So sometimes Adrian is he's more polite, I guess. And so he might see a game that he wants to get, and then other people won't notice. But something that the people there that they will notice is when some female gets really close to stretch in to look, and usually they're like super like, oh, and they get nervous. So all you have to do is Adrian like makes eye contact. I gave JJ the option. I was like, let me know if there's a game that you need to get to that you can't get to. They move. It's just I don't know.
She's not even doing anything bad. She just
No.
gets in their space, personal space. But yeah, and it just like it's enough to move them away.
Mhm.
And I
No,
won't do
we're
that.
laughing about it. And when she first said that she did that, I kind of laughed it off too and stuff. And then
You're like, "What?"
literally watched her do it and saw the crowd
works.
I
just
said, JJ,
like
watch.
disperse. And I was like,
And they were like, and then Adrian went right in. You guys could get to the game. So yeah, that's why I go in. But this year I decided I was going to they also have amazing art.
Yes,
There's so
very
many
much so.
different artists. There's so many different mediums, and it's not like just one style of art that you would think. Like
Yeah.
honestly, there's amazing artists. So this year I decided that I wanted to come home with art. And Adrian was kind of teasing me. He's like, it has to be, something unique. And I walked that whole thing, and I got really excited. I really like this person's art. It's a print. Let me see. It's the Radish Spirit. So if you like Miyazaki films, Ghibli, it's the
I
Radish
was gonna say
Spirit.
the whole booth was full of just Ghibli stuff. There was just all obviously an artist interpretation, but it was beautiful.
And she's amazing. So
Yeah.
I was really excited and kind of proud that I actually went. Instead of just people watching, I came back with art. And I kind of feel like next year, like I hope there's some other artists. We found these people who did, and I'm going to buy something from them. They did wood cutouts, but they stacked them so they're 3D and they added lights. Like the talent of these people is amazing. So I was excited to come back. Oh yeah.
It was Poindexter's Laboratory.
Yeah.
They had really good art. But the cool thing about this art piece though is it's a I think it's a linoleum print, which is something that I did back in college when I was doing art major. So I appreciate and respect that type of art and that style. It's not done. I don't see it that often. And oh yeah,
Hers is Artisaur.
Artisaur.
So if you like that kind of stuff, I don't know.
That's not sure.
You tell.
Artisaur.com, but really, really nice work, especially if you're into anime and stuff like that.
Super sweet lady. She was actually there with her daughter, and her daughter had her own art booth that was all Pokemon related and in a different art medium. So, but yeah, this was my first year to actually purchase something, and now next year I'm excited. So instead of just
now you have a goal.
I do have a goal.
Purchase
Instead of
more
just
art.
crowd moving and bag getting, I'm
That
looking
was
for
priced
art.
really, really well too. I think it was only $20 she was
Mhm.
asking for that, which was great.
Mhm.
And she let us pick out the print that we
Mhm.
wanted because each print is slightly different from the previous one. But yeah,
It worked a lot better than my idea of clearing crowds, which was to just walk into the middle of people and just yell, "Who's up for some butt stuff?"
I told you that's going to backfire on you.
yeah,
know.
you're
Then
gonna
you're
get
It's
some
like, well,
takers.
committed. What
at
if
that
you
point, I've
do?
already committed. What are you gonna do?
I know. It's like, all right.
It is annoying, and that's a good thing to bring up. When you have that many people there, there's people there that just really don't care, and they're going to.
Right.
I'm looking through something,
And really,
just
that's what I'm
literally.
talking about by moving the crowd. I'm not just like people enjoying their thing. It's those people
No.
who are oblivious and just almost like won't move because I don't know. Yeah.
This happened several times where I'm looking through stuff, and I haven't been there for just a few seconds. Just got there, and then somebody will just literally push me out of the way, get in front of me, and start flipping through the stuff that I'm already flipping through. It's
Not my man.
incredibly annoying and frustrating, and makes you want to punch a fool. But you just kind of like, whatever, okay, I'll leave and come back. It's not that big a deal. Like, I'm not going to get into a fight with somebody over this crap. But it's you're already a little bit anxious from the amount of people that are there and the crowds and stuff. But
You guys are so introverted. You guys.
I hate it. And
So
actually,
funny.
when we went, it was like when the doors opened first thing on the first day. We went later on that day, and the crowd cleared out substantially. And then Amy and I
Nice,
went
yeah.
on Sunday. Sunday was even better than the night before. You could go to any booth you wanted to and not fight any crowds whatsoever. Sundays are the day to go. If you're not in a hurry to buy something, or you are afraid you're going to miss out, like if you're not concerned about that, I think Sundays are definitely the better days to go on.
If you're
It's
there
just
for
easier.
the cosplay though and stuff, like they've got a little bit of everything for everyone. It's not, yeah.
Right. But I mean, also, like, I got an opportunity to chat with a couple YouTube people while we were there on Sunday. When we were there on Saturday, they have people lined up at their booths to talk to them and stuff. I'm like, I don't care that much about standing in line. I would like to go say hi to some people, but I'm not gonna wait for my turn. But on Sunday, yeah, I was able to walk straight up to their booths and just have a chat with them. So I went and talked to Game Dave. If you are not familiar with his channel, he is probably in my top 3 YouTube channels as far as like
This is really good stuff, and he has a personality to
stuff is-
match it.
Yes, he does. And he's very enthusiastic and passionate for the hobby, and his videos are very entertaining and funny. I really I really look forward to his videos and watch them the second they come out. So I went over there and chatted with him for a little bit. Very nice guy. Like he's not one of those like fake uh fake it type of people, you know. He's actually super nice and wants to talk to you about stuff and genuinely interested in the conversation.
Yeah.
And we talked about, you know, he's been doing videos lately over his arcade machines. So I got to chat with him a little bit about that. And I talked to him a little bit about one of his previous videos as well. And his process, I got to learn a little bit about his process and how he does it and stuff, because it's something that I'm interested in for doing for myself eventually. 'Cause that's the hard part for me, is coming up with the idea and then framing a story around it to make it engaging for the audience. And he is phenomenal at doing that. Had a great time talking to him. I also went and talked to what's that guy's name now? It's My Retro Life, but I can't remember the guy's name. Basically, he has old footage that his dad took of him. His dad was a collector and would also buy him games as a child in the 90s. And he documented in film all these different games that he bought and everything, and it's really, really cool. So that channel is also a lot of fun to watch, especially if you're nostalgic for that stuff. Also really nice guy, very open and willing to talk to you about it, and he's very passionate about sharing these home videos with people, and he embraces it, and I appreciate it. It's cool. Very unique too. Not a lot of people have or had parents back then that were that into gaming. You know, I would say I don't think I knew anybody who was into gaming growing up whose parents were. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. But to me, the reason I go there is twofold. I go there for meeting up with JJ. Obviously, that's like the one time a year we get to meet up, and
I go there just to appease Adrian because I know he likes me that much. So, you know,
true.
You got to make some sacrifices.
Appreciate
the way it goes.
You're part of the anniversary trip though now, because I'm like, okay, we actually get to see JJ. So,
but you get to I love going through and shopping. That's fun for me. Like it's
100%.
it's a hunt, but it's like a hunt if they put all the stuff that you want into one room and make it to where it's not really a hunt, but it's I don't know. I'm describing this all kinds of wrong, but I love it.
Like when he says digging and JJ says digging, that like JJ and I kind of laugh about it. Like JJ and I, like, we walk, I guess
we will make
Adrian.
Amy and I will make 2 or 3 rounds before he makes one aisle. Like, it's crazy.
And he'll be like, is he on the first aisle still? And I'm like, I think maybe the second aisle. And there's like 3 or 4. So we know that it's going to be a while.
Yeah.
I don't want to miss anything. So I'm very thorough, but also
we're aware.
When I find stuff that I like, I take it out and I look at it and stuff and just examine it. And so that's also
the reason you need to be there, JJ, so I don't get bored.
So
don't get me wrong though. The fact that you're like that is like a very good thing, because I would have missed out on a handful of things like pretty much every year if you weren't like that, because I gloss over things. And B, that's how you find a lot of the stuff that you got. So it's I don't have the patience that you do, is what it boils down to. I am just like, in my mind, I'm like, I'll look at like the top few games and stuff like that, and I'll be like, there's a lot to flip through here. I don't know. And there's other booths, and then I'll just move on. Whereas you're just like, boom, 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 but like every one little game at a time. And
I'll tell you
stuff. It's impressive to watch you work.
One of my favorite things to do, and the reason why I do this and the reason why I go to these things, I absolutely love flipping through boxed, like complete unboxed like games and stuff, and looking at the artwork and remembering what the game is or what my memories are with that game, but also just admiring the art. That is, like, to me, the biggest thing the biggest joy that I get out of doing that. So I take my time to admire everything that stands out to me as something that I would that is important to me. Um, so yeah, I mean that's part of the reason why I'm a collector. I love to admire these things and the artwork that goes behind it.
Sure.
But I'm in some of my pickups now. I got quite a bit. But I just have a handful of things here to show. I got Pokemon Diamond. Got a good deal on that. I'm missing Pokemon Black, Pokemon White 2. I just need the cart. I have a case for it in manual. And I'm missing a case and manual for Pokemon Pearl. Once I have those three, I'll have everything from the DS up, Pokemon wise, mainline series. And then I'm only missing a few cart based games. Like I think Gold and Emerald and Ruby and Leaf Green is all I'm missing from the cartridge based or the GBA Game Boy games. My goal is to have a complete Pokemon collection, mainline collection. I would love to have a complete complete mainline Pokemon, but that's a distant future goal. So I also found Beautiful Joe on the DS. This is one I've been waiting to pick up for a while. I haven't seen it for now. And then also I found this Breath of Fire 2 on the Game Boy Advance. This game here is one of the reasons why I bought a Game Boy Advance. It was when I was working at Walmart many moons ago, and the Game Boy Advance was still relatively new, and I saw it there with that Breath of Fire 2, and I was like, I want to play that game so bad. It was one that I missed out on the Super Nintendo. I've been wanting to play it. I loved Breath of Fire 3 and 4. So this is one I really wanted to go back and try. So I remember specifically buying my GBA and that game same day. I since sold everything and regret it. And so I finally got to pick this up. It's in a really great shape too. It's complete. And then I also got I got a few other things that day, and I think I posted a picture of it on Twitter.
You did.
And on the Discord.
On Discord, yeah.
But I didn't post what I got on day 2. So on the Sunday, Amy and I went back to the convention. JJ went home after we had breakfast because he had a longer drive ahead of him. So
yep,
someone was waiting for him too.
Yes, true.
That's true.
So
he's right here.
Amy and I went back, and so the day before on Saturday, I was talking to a guy about some manuals that he had. He had Silent Hill manual for the PS1, and strangely enough, I have that game complete other than the manual. Like I have the back artwork, I have the original case and everything, but I have just the cover of it. And I think what it was is it was a rental version. So they took the manual out, but kept the cover of the manual inside the case. And I've seen this a few times with PS1 games. And I think they just put the manual inside the rental box whenever you would rent it, so you would have the manual with it. So anyway, I found the manual there and wanted it for completing my copy. I also found a manual for Azure Dreams on the PS1, which is another one that I'm missing. I was missing the manual for, and then Ogre Battle 64. These are all manuals. All three of these are manuals I've been on the hunt for many years, having it on eBay saved searches and stuff like that. And I just never pulled the trigger on it. And he just so happened to have all three of them there. So I made a deal with him. We bartered a little bit. He cut like $15 off the asking price. It was still expensive for these booklets. I think it was like, you remember how much I paid for that?
Mm-hmm.
How much?
I don't want to remind you because you were.
I don't care. Like it was a lot.
115.
115 for 3 manuals. It's a lot of money, but when you've been looking for these for as long as I have, it was worth it. Anyway, I had him hold them back for me, and I came back Sunday and I picked them up. While I was there, though, I found this Breath of Fire, the first Breath of Fire. I never had this version on the GBA. The guy had it at his booth. for 120, and I opened it up and there was no game in it. It was just
That's
it was just a box and the manual and all the paperwork and everything that came with it. So he didn't realize that. He thought it was just
No. Well, I heard, I guess I don't know if it was his wife or whatever, but he it turns out that whoever he bought it from at the convention. And he's
oh
like, I know I saw that game, and he had us looking through, like all
yeah,
four of us were looking through the games,
trying to
and then
find it.
she even told him this is the second game something like this has happened. So I'm almost worried.
So it
that
sounded
guy
like
got-
this vendor was getting screwed over by somebody at the
Mhm.
convention, which is, I would say, it was probably easy to do with the amount of people there, and you're
Mhm.
having to deal with all
Yeah.
the people
There were
at your
so
booth.
many. Yeah.
Yeah, and then still try to take trades on top of that. That's got to be tough.
Mhm.
So anyway, he knocked $20 off of it when we couldn't find the game, and so I just bought the box and manual. When I got home, though, did I tell you this?
Mm-mm.
I bought it on eBay. I found it.
Did
I
you?
found the
Okay.
game only for $20, and that game, surprisingly enough, card only, is going for $30 plus. So I just so happened to find one
I was
at a
gonna
price that I was willing to
try
pay
and get
for
it
it.
for you. You can't buy this man a present.
Oh,
I'm
there's no
telling you.
way I was gonna buy this and have
TJ
a
knows.
card.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I'm well aware. I'm well aware.
So I went there with a budget. Let's just say that my budget was blown very quickly.
Was it worth it?
I don't know. Ask me at the end of the month when we
Was
can't
it
pay a
worth
bill.
it? This is, and again, I guess this shows like why I'm an enabler, but he enjoys it. Like it's fun. Like this
No,
is
we'll
super
survive.
cool.
It's
Yeah.
not a big deal, but it was just, you go there with a budget in mind, and I'm not gonna break it. I'm not gonna break it.
And
That's what I
we
kept
don't
telling
do this
myself.
often,
And I ended up
so treat
spending
yourself.
twice as much as I intended to spend. But I had a great time. I found a bunch of cool stuff that I wasn't necessarily looking for. Like the goals that I went to there to look for, and this happens every year. The goals that I had ended up going out the window because I couldn't find any of the things that I was after. Like specifically
Yeah,
the
stuff
Neo
just catches your
Geo
eye.
Pocket Color. Yeah. The Neo Geo Pocket Color games was one of the big things that I was looking for. I did not see one Neo Geo Pocket Color game, not one. And that was a little disappointing. But I mean, in the end, I'm happy. I've got several things that I've been eyeing for a long time. I got to complete several games that I've been trying to complete for years, and I'm very excited for that. Got to have a good time, meet some people that I watch on YouTube, hang out with JJ and Amy, and it was a great time. I had a blast.
I like the actors. They had random actors there this year.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, from like 80s movies and stuff. Yeah.
So, Flight of the Navigator. Does anybody remember that show? That movie scared me as a kid. Oh my gosh.
I saw that show as a
And I
kid,
saw it so many times.
but it was never one that I was super into.
Monster Squad.
I'd never seen
They were
that.
there.
Monster
So-
Squad, Adventures in Babysitting.
Adventures in Babysitting.
that one was cool. Adventures in Babysitting was a movie that I watched quite a bit.
They had some voice actors, but no animes that I watched. Sorry.
It was fully
Uh,
loaded. I think
Yeah.
as far as like guests at a Retropalooza, this is probably the biggest that I've seen yet.
Definitely grown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they
it was
also
massive.
charge you more. Like, what is it usually? It's like $25 to get into the show usually, would you say?
Mhm.
Something like
This
that.
year
yeah.
was 35.
35, yeah.
Yeah.
They also hadn't done it for the past 2 years, so I imagine they were just trying to make up for lost time. And
I think
whatnot.
they skipped
They skipped 1 year.
2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it was like last year, but we didn't go because COVID was still kind of out there.
Yeah.
We risked it this time, and thank goodness it was fine.
None of us
Lamont,
got sick.
I
did wanna say-
I'm a germaphobe.
I did want to say, Lamont, I looked at my list and I did figure out which Wii U game it was that I saw. It was Shakedown Hawaii. One of the booths there had the special edition. They wanted 180 for it, and I was just
Oh,
like,
wow.
that's just way too much. Yeah, like because even if I were to try and get a deal on that, I'm still gonna be like, best case scenario, they knock off $20, and that's still higher than like eBay. Like I almost laughed. I was like, oh no, look around and come back, maybe. It's like F that, dude. No way. Yeah. So because you can get that game for 120, 130. It was a special edition. So it's just the original regular edition, which I'd be happy with. I think you can get for like 100. So it was, yeah, no, I wasn't gonna do that. I don't know.
wanted to
I need to
mention
get some of the bigger ones though. That's for sure.
one thing about the show that really frustrated me, and this is a me problem. I like to go around each of the booths and assess what I would potentially want to buy, and then once I make my round, I then make my decision as far as what I want to get, and then I will go back to said booth and buy the thing that I ultimately decided on. Well, problem is, even if I'm there and I'm like, okay, here's the thing, I remember this booth and what it looks like and who the vendor is and everything. I try to do a visual assessment, then I move on. And then when I get down to the end of it and I'm like, okay, I remember the game that I want to go back and buy, but I don't remember the booth. And it happened to me twice that I can remember at the show for big things that I wanted to get. And JJ and Amy helped me make rounds to try to find these damn vendors that I wanted to find. And
oftentimes you would just disappear. We're like, where'd he go?
I was so frustrated with myself. I was like, how do I keep doing this? So I think future me is going to get my phone out, take a picture, and then not do this again. Because I spent far too long hunting for the thing that I was looking for. I did find them, but it took a long time.
I had a very good memory on everything because as our little group's unofficial security guard, I was forced to give everyone there an ocular pat down, as some of you may know what that is. And that's, I have to make sure everybody's clear before we can move on from booth to booth. So I know Brian knows what I'm talking about. So that's the way that goes. Okay. Okay, Mac. Yeah, I knew he'd get it. Anybody watches It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, you'll understand that, yes.
Okay. Clearly, we're
like, they're like, ocular pat down, man. Yeah. So that's, I mean, do you guys have anything else? Because after that, we pretty much just went home.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
we have to talk about that food place though.
What food place?
We have to go to Prince. Like,
okay, look, she meant, or JJ mentioned this earlier, but that Persian place is called Prince. Amazing food.
It's really good.
I want it right now. It was that
won
good.
awards. So
it won awards.
It won awards. Okay. Guy Fieri went there. It was
Guy Fieri, and it won awards. Okay, that means it's good.
You guys are still talking about it.
It was excellent. But on the way home, I guess we didn't really tell you about our adventure home. We went back to the Retropalooza, and then after that, I think we were kind of done. We thought we were going to go to Six Flags and stuff, but we were both tired and like, let's just go. And so we ended up going to Spiral, which is our favorite vegan restaurant. We're not vegan, but we like vegan options. And it was amazing as usual. And then we
went to Buc-ee's.
We went to Buc-ee's. So
hey JJ, did you go to Buc-ee's?
No, he didn't go.
No, I didn't. And I thought Adrian was gonna like punch me in the face for not going there. He was so like legit mad. You seemed legit mad that I was like,
not mad at all.
Go.
Okay,
man.
I was frustrated. I wasn't mad. I was frustrated because I was recommending a place to JJ. Okay. This is my perspective. I was recommending a place that I thought was kind of cool. It's just like one of those things that you don't see very often. It's just an oversized gas station with specialty items or whatever. So I was like, check it out. It's kind of cool if you want to check it out. And then he was like trying to pressure me into telling him
you have to go. You have to go to this place. Everybody wears t-shirts
whenever
you have to go.
When you're having a conversation with somebody and you're enthusiastic about a thing, you say you have to go. but it doesn't mean you actually have to go. It's just one of those things to stress. It's cool. You have to check it out.
I'm not gonna lie, I considered lying to
I'm
you
not
and be like, "Oh,
telling you what
so
to do.
awesome," and then like Google imaging some pictures and be like, "Yeah, check it out. There's the front of the building."
JJ took me literally, and me telling him that he has to go, and he didn't want to go, and I could tell he didn't want to go. I'm like, that's fine.
Well,
you know, you want to get
especially
home.
when we said crowds. It's gonna be
And then so he
crowded,
started
so-
pressuring me to tell him why this place is substantial and why you need to go there. And I couldn't really tell him anything that was like, there's nothing really that outstanding about it. It's just unique. That's it. Like that was the thing. And I couldn't really put that into words. And so
I got my
that,
fever
I
flu.
wasn't
That's all wanted.
wasn't telling you that you had to go. I was saying it's cool. You have to check it out sometime.
That's what he meant to say. I got.
I wasn't
beaver
telling
poop.
you you
That's all
had
I
to
wanted.
go, but I was just saying you have to go.
It's the figure of
Are
speech.
you very literal?
Okay.
He's very literal.
I am literally very literal.
Literally. Perfect. Okay, noted.
No, I wasn't mad, by the way. Sorry if I gave off that vibe. I was just frustrated with how I was presenting my words.
And then we drove home. And that was it. Oh, we stopped off and got tacos. See, look, this is a food trip for me. It's a video game thing for them. And it's a food trip for me. We got tacos.
We did get tacos in Oklahoma City. When we got back home, we got some
Truck
tacos. Yeah.
taco.
And then we got home, and that was the end of our fun time. Although we did take off Monday and spend the day together. So that was nice on our anniversary. We didn't go anywhere or do anything.
I think if I was with somebody, like if I was married or had a girlfriend or something like that, or even just like, you know, a friend of mine or something that was with me while I was driving down there, I would be more open to making those side trips like Game Exchange, that place as well. But just being by myself, I was just ready. I was tired. I just wanted to get home. You know, and it's, you know, that's an 8-hour drive by myself. And like I deal with thoughts by myself alone, and that's a nightmare as it is. So I wanted to just get home to my little buddy here. And I was just not. I was just like, that's why I was like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm probably not gonna go. I'm just too tired. I just want to get home.
It's probably safe to say that you won't be making that drive again. Probably be flying in the future.
Probably a good bet. Well, that's the thing. Is like I drove because I wanted to bring the big thing, any like something big back, but there was nothing big that I wanted to buy this year. So, there's really no point. I know as soon as I fly down again, I'm gonna see that, but I don't know. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. We'll see. Going there though has made me like realize that I want to go to some other ones and check them out as well. I would like to go back to Mo Game Con again.
I want to check that one out.
I keep saying every year that I'm going to go back. It's fine. It's not like Retropalooza. It's a lot smaller. It's just like literally in like the cafeteria of a college or gymnasium or something like that. There's a lot of stuff there, but in my experience, the vendors aren't as open to bartering and haggling. And I've only gone once, so don't, you know, take that as gospel as every single time. I've only been there one time. It was fine. Honestly, the highlight of that trip was just getting to meet Radical Reggie, who is like the nicest guy in the world, and finally having somebody in my life to talk Star Ocean with, because he's a big fan of that series as well, like me. So it was cool to meet that guy and just, you know, bullshit with him for a few minutes. And I would love to go to Portland Retro Gaming Expo at some point.
I would too. Actually, we need to put that on our to-do list. I really want to go to that. I want to go to Portland too. Like that's going to be a trip. Like if we make that trip, it's going to be longer than the convention because I've never been up in the Northwest at all. So that would be really cool to see. But also I hear so much about the Portland Retro Gaming Expo.
Have you been to Seattle?
No. Oh, okay. The furthest I've been, well, I've been all over California, but never in the northern part of California, and definitely not in.
Seattle's cool too. Just you know, for both of the Pink Gorilla locations. That was a lot of fun. There's a lot to do up there though. Either way, I went with my ex-girlfriend. We had a lot of fun when we went up there.
I want to go. Stefan Reese, who has been on the show before, Art of Nintendo Power.
Mm.
He usually brings his exhibit to the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, and I would
Yep.
love to go do that and actually meet him in person.
Yeah.
Another really nice guy, easy or fun to talk to.
For sure.
I forgot this one.
Well,
I did. I also got this Beavis and Butthead. Amy forgot to- I
you did
got
get
this.
Actually, that was the one you were probably the most vocal about while we were there because you were like looking for it for a while. I think
Because
that
I
was the one you
found
were
only
talking about.
one.
That was the one you were talking about when you saw it in your head, but you couldn't remember what booth it was at, and we were walking
Yes,
around looking
this
for it.
is
Yeah,
it.
that's right.
But I had it already. See, complete here. But the copy that
Mhm.
I had did not work, and I took it apart and tested all the contact and everything. Couldn't figure out why it wouldn't work, and I just gave up. And so I've been on a mission for the past, I don't know, year or so to find another card only to complete this thing again. And I
Yeah.
haven't been able to find one at all in any of my game stores that I go to. And I went to Retropalooza and couldn't find it anywhere there. And I found one copy. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna walk around and come back. And then that was the one that I forgot where it was. So
Yep. You got it though. It's just gone.
I got it.
Cool. All right. Well, with that, next month we're gonna do our Christmas episode.
Yep.
Where we do gift exchange and just talk about kind of anything really, to be honest. Just kind of more of a free form. With just the gift exchange.
We can do like a year in review, basically.
Good.
Yeah. Talk about our games of the year. Well, unless you want to save that for January. This can be in a discussion off the show, but
I've got I'm once I finish Assassin's Creed Odyssey, that's my last game on my list of 20. So I will have 2 videos after that with doing my rapid fire reviews on the 20 games and my thoughts on those. Followed by might be like the first of the year when I announce it, but the new list for 2023. Like I said, if you're not on Discord, would love for you to come join us there. Just go Game Room Revival, check out the video description, and you'll see the link to it right there. Tell me what you want me to play, because I'm gonna give everybody a game, everybody that's in our Discord. So y'all get one. And I'm I honestly, for the most part, I'm expecting people to be like not screw with me, but more like I'm honestly overall expecting maybe like 3 or 4 tops anyway. I'm not expecting to like have the whole entire list covered by any means. I'm expecting like 3 or 4 people to let me know, and for the most part, it's going to be games that I know are going to be really good that people have just been begging me to play for a while. So I'm by all means I'm looking forward to it and stuff.
yes,
So
the voice.
Voice. I'm putting.
voice.
I'm joining Discord and I'm putting that in.
But it has
And I
to be
need to
something I
see
can
it.
like beat and roll credits on. So Balan Wonderworld, I do have that
Yes.
game. So yes, you could pick it if you wanted to.
Oh, please don't.
But
Yeah.
Lamont, I don't think you want to do that because you are one of the biggest proponents of telling me that I suck for not playing certain games. So I have no doubt you're going to recommend something good because if you don't, you will regret it later on. So
Here's a good one for me. I think if people want to pitch in and say this is a game that I should finish in the year, then I will do it. If somebody has given me a task and I feel like I'm gonna let somebody down if I don't do it,
I told you should do like your own small list, like pick 5 games for an entire year that you're going to finish.
5
like
games
that.
is a lot.
I like that idea. I'll encourage him.
Howlongtobeat.com. You can check and see how long they are. And just pick like games that
Yeah.
are 10 hours or less. You know, or
Yeah.
games that you're already like almost done with. You know, pick Xenoblade 3, pick Mother 3. You know.
My problem is I keep picking RPGs and those are 30 plus hours every single damn one of them. Too long for me. But I love them. I love them so much.
But he passes the story. He doesn't let me watch.
No, I do watch the story. That's crap. I watch the story.
Learning all sorts of stuff. Man.
Do you? Do you?
Do
Yeah, I
you
like
love them?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Who, Brian? Who are you talking to? Love who? What? I realize Twitch is a little bit behind, so I might just be. I'm a little confused, but whatever it is, I'm sure we all love them equally.
Yeah.
JRPG. Oh, do you love all the JRPGs equally?
I love all of them equally. Yes. I would go as far as to say I love all RPGs, JRPGs. How about that? I'm a
Adrian
sucker.
has an arcade project, the one behind him.
I do. I need to finish it. Surprise,
He's been
surprise.
saying that since we've done the show. Ow, ow, buddy.
Oh,
That is
he's
not
like,
something you want to
"Man."
step on with your claws. All right. My own fault for wearing shorts. I mean, that's pretty much all I've got. Chat, thank you for hanging out as usual. Yeah, join the Discord. Tell me what to play. Hound Adrian to finish a game every now and then. Even though we did hear that he finished one. I forget which one you said you finished earlier.
Noah.
Oh, Klonoa, that's right. Yep, that's right. Cameron wants to know, what does that arcade cabinet need? What do you still need to do to finish it?
I need glass or something to go over the screen. I need a way to store my mouse and keyboard because it's RetroPie, or yeah, it's got a Raspberry Pi in it. I need to get a different marquee because I don't like that marquee that's up there. I need to redo the paper, whatever plastic that's covering it. See, it's peeling up over there. I need to get that. I need to get into my Raspberry Pi and fix the controls because the controls don't work right with every game. I need to load more games onto it.
Everything, basically, is what he needs to do.
Yeah.
Everything.
We have the box.
It looks cool.
It looks cool. Yeah, it does.
Also,
it is always
having been in that room physically now, I just want to let everybody know that room is way bigger than the way it looks on camera. It looks so like small and condensed. Like there's a lot of stuff in the background, but you walk into it, there's like all four walls are just covered in stuff.
it's ridiculous.
It's just crazy how much there is. So
And it's
I
right
just
when you
wanted to
walk
point that
in
out.
the door.
Right.
Oh yeah, it's the first
It is
thing
very
you see
cool.
when you walk into my house.
It is really, really cool. JJ needs to come help me with X-Men. I would not be able to help. I would literally just sit back and be like, when can we play it? That's it.
Yes.
All right. I think that's all we got. My voice is starting to go and I can hear it and feel it. But thank you guys for sticking with us. I always like doing this live on Twitch with everybody hanging out in chat and stuff. So yeah,
I'm curious for, and this is like I'm curious for audio listeners who aren't participating in the chat, if it's off-putting at all to have the live show since they're not on the chat to sphere. I don't know. Is it easy to get lost? Are we doing a good enough, or is JJ doing a good enough job of keeping that on point? I think you're a lot better than you were that first time, from my opinion. I was confused if whether you were talking to me or the chat. Now I'm not anymore. So
oh,
good
I see what
job.
you're saying. Oh, I gotcha. Thanks, I guess. But let's be real, you get confused quite often. So
I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna argue that. I'm not gonna argue that at all.
Thank you so much for watching. Amy, thanks for joining us. You did wonderful with the food and the crowd clearing and all the fun stuff.
anytime.
It was great to see you guys, and I love going out there and hanging out with you. Definitely the highlight of the trips whenever I go down. It's great. So I'm super excited to keep that up. And honestly, anybody who listens to us, who if you ever go down to, I know I've had talked to a few people who are like, oh, I need to get down there one of these years and that kind of thing. You ever end up getting down there and doing it, let me know, because I know, and I speak for Adrian as well, we'd love to meet up with people and have a drink or just chill out, grab dinner, whatever. Because that's what we do. We just hang out, we talk video games, and just that's it.
Drinking,
it's just really it's a good getaway, and with good people. So yeah, highly recommend it if you get the chance. And again, come join us on Discord, hang out with us there. Tell us what games to play, hound Adrian to finish more, and yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. You know the drill. Game Room Revival on YouTube, all audio platforms. You can find us on there. Pixel Perspective. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching, listening, and anything in between. And as always, what should they do, Adrian?
Keep on gaming.